So in the early years, there were big steam boilers in factories, and factory owners thought, okay, here's this new technology, electricity. We're going to use it as a drop-in replacement for steam power. And that term, drop-in replacement, is very important because it's the same thing we're hearing in the AI conversation now, that companies want to use AI as a drop-in replacement for human workers. It didn't work in the case of factories. It turned out that the way to productively take advantage of electricity was to recognize that it's a very different technology from steam, that electricity can be moved, generated wherever you want it to, using, and you can use electric motors to drive an assembly line, instead of using the cumbersome mechanism of gears to physically transport power throughout the factory. So it took going from the left to going from the picture on the right. And this was a reorganization of how work was done in factories, and that's what it took to be able to productively take advantage of electricity. A few things to note about this. It took 40 years. There's a great analysis by economic historian Paul A. David. It wasn't immediately obvious how to do this, so that's the first thing. Second, this downstream innovation didn't come from the electricity companies. Similarly, I argue that the innovations required to productively take advantage of AI in the workplace are not going to come from the AI companies. That's up to all of us figuring out how this is going to work in higher education or any other sector. So that's the downstream innovation. Right? And third, this required so many things, training workers differently and so on. In the case of this transformation, the assembly line, of course, led to a lot of drudgery for workers. My hope is that with the AI transformation, we can figure out how to redesign work in ways that makes work more fun and more fulfilling as opposed to more drudgery. And I think this is the big challenge and opportunity for those who are students today, because they're going to be entering an economy in which they're going to have the power and agency to do this.